Hey there, in this video, I am going to show you how to brainwash your prospects to buy. Now I have to preface this and give you a warning. If what you sell does not work, it does not help people, I don't want you watching this video. Because if you're a scammer, you're going to learn how to scam a whole lot more people. So just go ahead, click off for me. But if what you know that you're selling works and it truly helps people, I am going to show you how to ethically brainwash your prospects in order to buy your thing. With that being said, let's dive into it. So I want you to view your offer here on the right side. Right here we have your offer, and your prospects are right here. Pretend like this right here is your prospect. Now, every single prospect that views your offer sees it through what we call a lens. This is the lens as to which people see your offer. So if you're doing outreach, if you're running ads for your agency, people view your offer through a lens. When you give somebody your pitch, when you give somebody your offer, they view it in this certain way. And the lens that they view it through is otherwise known as beliefs. This means that they will have associated beliefs to your offer based off of what I'm about to show you. Now, there's two different ways that people could actually, the actual lens people could view your offer through. At the top, we have a positive connotation. And at the bottom, we have a negative. Right? If there's a positive, there's always a negative to it. Now, for the positive, this is associated with trust. The negative is associated with doubt. And this will determine if somebody buys your offer or not. It's not how good is your offer, how good are your outreach messages or your ads doing. It is what lens do prospects view your offer through. Do they trust you and your offer, or do they doubt you and your offer? This is the actual question that we need to answer. And once we understand this, that every single prospect, no matter what, will view our offer through a certain lens. Even if you don't know this, it's still happening. Like prospects are viewing your offer through a lens. They have a set of beliefs that either trust you in your offer or doubt you in your offer. And it's your responsibility to lean them towards trust or doubt. And this is how we actually do it. So this is how prospects see, right? It's through their eyes that they see your offer in this lens. And when we are able to get trust built, the beliefs and the lens be through trust, if we're able to make our prospects believe deep down to their core, right here, their heart, that they trust your offer, they trust who you are as a person, the only possible outcome of this is what we call a PIF, right? If you don't know what a PIF is, it's a pay in full. This means if you get a prospect to simply trust into you and your offer, to simply see you through this lens, have these beliefs that what you're saying is true, the desired result you're selling, the outcome, how you're going to help people is true, and they trust it, they will pay in full and buy your thing. Now we understand that. On the flip side, we have doubt, and this is the scary one that you're more than likely facing right now. If you didn't know this diagram I'm explaining to you right now, this is more than likely what you're facing. Now, when prospects view our offer through a lens of doubt, and they view this in their heart, right? They see your offer, and to their core, they doubt you as a person. They doubt how you can help them. They doubt that your thing works. They doubt that you might be a scammer. The only possible result out of this are objections. This is why you're dealing with objections. It's because they doubt you and your offer. We understand this, okay? We're on the same page. So the question now becomes, well, Christian, how do we, get our prospects to trust us? How does this work? Because you understand by now that they are either trusting or doubting you. There's no in between. There's no line in the middle. There's no line in the sand here. They either trust you or they doubt you. They either pay in full, they become a client, or they give you objections, they think about it, they don't show up to your calls, they don't respond back, they ghost you. How do we manufacture trust? How do we do this? Well, if we want to gain more paid in fulls and less objections, the only possible way that we could manufacture trust is through what we call exposure. Now, exposure is the time someone has spent with you. The reason you don't trust a stranger that you walked past across the street isn't because they're a bad person. It's because you simply don't have exposure to them. You don't know who they are. If you have 1 hour-long conversation with a stranger on the side of the road, you might begin to trust them, right? It just makes sense. So it's the same thing here. The more exposure we have with our prospects, the more likelihood they have of actually trusting us and buying into our offer, because it's not our offer. Your offer doesn't have to be crazy. Most people have such insane offers. Like, if you could simply have an offer that clearly makes the business owner and the person that you want to work with more money, they make more money than they pay you. If they trust that, they will buy it any time. It's like if you went gambling and you knew that you were at a slot machine and you knew for every dollar you put in, you would get $10 out. You would spin that thing till the freaking handle comes off, right? It's the same thing here. If you could simply get them to trust your offer, and your offer as an agency is to make them more money, they will buy. You don't have to have the craziest offer. But people try to compensate for the doubt that their prospects have by making a wild offer and saying, we'll book you 1,000 calls, we'll make you $1 million. And it's like, if anything, that makes your prospects doubt you even more. But that's for another conversation. So we understand that our prospects need to view our offer through a lens of trust. In order for them to trust in their heart that we are the person with our offer that's going to get them to where they want to go and pay in full with no objections, they need to be exposed to us. And just the natural flow here, the only way to get an online stranger to be exposed through you is with content. That is the only possible way, unless you run into your prospects across, on the side of the street. And so we need to start producing content in order to increase exposure, in order to increase the amount of money that we make, because prospects will view our offer through a lens of trust. It just makes sense. So hopefully I've shifted this belief in you that you need to start producing content. Because if you simply think that you could send just more outreach, or that you could just, spend more money on ads and optimize the funnel and make your one VSL killer, that it's going to change your life, it's going to get those show rates up, it's going to finally increase your close rate, you're not going to deal with shitty clients. It's not true. They need to be exposed to you more, and the only way that's possible is through content. And if you're not creating content right now, you're sitting on a freaking gold mine, because nobody else is doing it. There are not many agency owners producing content. The absolute best platform to produce content is the one we're on right here, right now. It's YouTube. It's YouTube because YouTube is long form. I'll give you an example. Like I said, if you spend an hour with a stranger on the side of the road, you're probably going to get to know them. You might start to trust them if they, are just genuinely a good person. But if you had a 30-second conversation with a stranger on the side of the road, they are still a stranger. Right? If you go up to a girl on the side of the road, you're like, hey, how's the weather? And you guys just have a little small talk. You don't trust that girl. You don't. You need to have a long conversation with them to get to know their beliefs and who they are and what they stand for, what their hobbies are, what their interests are, what their career is, etc. Right? It's the same thing here. The reason we go to YouTube is because it's long form. And long form just automatically increases the time of exposure. I'll give you an example. Every single one of your prospects right now has what we call a sales cycle. This is the elapsed time that has to go by in order for them to buy your thing. And let me explain what I mean by this. The sales cycle of your prospect is how long it takes them to actually trust your offer. Makes sense. I'll tell you my sales cycle. I've bought a ton of programs, a bunch of coaching, a bunch of masterminds, etc. It usually takes me 2 to 3 months to view someone's content in order to actually buy. Now, it's not the time that elapses in order to determine someone's sales cycle. It's the amount of exposure that they receive. So if you're posting 30-second reels on Instagram as your content in order to increase trust, it might take someone 2 years of watching 30-second reels in order to trust you. But if you have 10 YouTube videos that are 30 minutes long, that could increase the amount of exposure and lower the sales cycle. And I don't want to make it seem like with this whole process, it takes people months to buy your thing. It's not true. Everybody's sales cycle is different. And you simply don't know what someone's sales cycle is. For some people, it might take one video in order for them to buy into you and your offer. For other people, it'll take months of getting to know you, truly trusting you, to pull out their credit card and pay you. So when we understand this, we're making videos for the short term and the long term. We're trying to cash out on the leads now that simply need a little bit of exposure to us in order to buy. And we're trying to indoctrinate the people that need 3 months in order to buy, which is the majority, right? So I hope that's making sense. Now, with this comes something else I need to hit on here. We understand that in order to increase our exposure, we need to be producing content. We do that via YouTube long-form videos. There are a couple of questions that you need to have answered in order to figure out what videos to make. That's the biggest question I get. Christian, I understand I need to be making YouTube videos. I understand I need to be increasing the amount of trust my prospects have. How? I'm going to answer that for you right now. So right here below, I have a couple of questions. Okay? These are the questions that you need to write down and figure out right after watching this video for you to understand what content to make. Because if you make any type of content and you just, throw stuff at the wall, it's not going to stick. You need to make the right content in order to get them to trust you and your offer. Now, the first question that we look at here is desire. Now, when we're talking about desire, this is their goal, right? This is their goal. This is where they want to be. So let's say you're working with med spas, and let's say the med spas you're working with, their goal is to get to 7 figures. You need to understand this before you make any type of content. In the same way how my goal, the desire for me and my marketing message when I'm working with agency owners between 5 and 30K a month, it's to help them get to 50. And I understand that because I have this all listed down. This is an exercise I run through myself and I have my clients run through when they're making their content. What is the goal? Where do your clients want to go? You need to understand this. Figure out the desire and make your content in alignment with everything that you're talking about to get them to that desire that they want. But here's the most important one, because here's something I'll tell you. This right here, number 2, will always beat number 1. People just naturally will avoid pain versus going towards a desire. People would rather pay you. People take action to avoid pain and problems in their life. Very few people take action towards a desire. An example, if you have a $10,000 offer and you place a sales rep into companies, let's say, like that's what you do, you're placing sales reps into companies. And let's say that the person you're working with is currently taking sales calls. And they're taking 6 sales calls a day. The offer that would work better here, and what this made up person should be saying in their content, is let us place a setter for you so that you never have to take another sales call again. That person that watches that video will pull out their credit card and pay you $10,000. Versus you saying, let us place a sales rep into your company so that you can get to 7 figures. Most people will take action on the pain. Everybody will take action to avoid the pain. Not everybody will take action towards the desire. So it's very important to understand what is the deepest and darkest pain your prospects go through. And an exercise to kind of put this in mind is think, what keeps your prospects up at night? When they go lay down, they go to sleep, what keeps them up? What are they concerned about? What is keeping them up? What do they know? It's like, I need to figure this out. I'm in so much pain and it's keeping them up at night. When you're able to truly identify that, and you reflect all these answers from these questions in your marketing, in your YouTube content, you are going to hit this person to their core. In the same way how I've done this, and in this video, I'm going to show it to you right now because I'm just trying to be transparent here. I understand what you're going through. I understand that most of your sales calls are with people that view your offer through a lens of doubt. And that's why I'm making this video. It's the same thing. It's in alignment with my marketing message. So I do what I teach, and I'm trying to explain that to you here. Here comes the third question, tried. Now, when we say tried, it's what have they tried in the past? What are the things that your prospect has done in the past that hasn't worked and why? This is called an improvement offer. So let's say that your prospect has tried to run Facebook ads in the past. If you go and try to offer Facebook ads, it will work. It can work. But you're fighting an uphill battle versus you going and saying, hey, you've tried Facebook ads. Let me help you start Instagram organic growth. It's something new. It's something they haven't tried before. So you need to truly identify, what have my clients tried in the past? Why has it failed? And why do they no longer like it? What is the pain associated with the things they've tried in the past? And that will lead you naturally into the fourth question, which is different. How are you different? You need to figure out how you're different. Okay? You need to figure this out. How are you different? And if you're not different, become different. That's how you sell. Become different and offer something people haven't tried in the past. And in your YouTube content, show how it's different. Show how it's different. Show how it works and how, as a result of it being different, gets them the result that they want. Let me simplify that. Show your prospects, I will help you get to this desire because we are different by doing this, this, and this. Therefore, this isn't something that you've tried in the past, and it will help you avoid these pains. Hope that's clicking for you. The last one, the most important one that we do in our YouTube videos, is number 5. And this stands for limiting beliefs. You need to write down what are the limiting beliefs that are holding your prospects back from buying your thing right now. Write them down. Let's say you offer content editing. What are some beliefs that would hold somebody back from buying your content agency offer? I don't need an editor. I don't need to produce content. Content will help my business grow. I could just hire somebody off of Fiverr. These are just off the top of my head. That's not even my offer. These are just 4 limiting beliefs that will hold somebody back from buying a content agency's offer. It's very simple. And it's your goal. It's your duty, really. Because if you think about it like this, those limiting beliefs are what the doubt is. The doubt that we're talking about here, it is limiting beliefs. That's so good. You truly think about that one. If I could even say so, it's so good, right? I'm the one explaining it. But it's so good. Think about it. The reason your prospects are viewing your offer through a lens of doubt is because they have limiting beliefs around you and your offer. And if you could simply increase your exposure, create long-form content to increase the exposure, and have this long-form content to destroy the limiting beliefs, they will buy. It's as simple. It's the laws of the universe. If they are in complete alignment and you've solved every single limiting belief, you've showed them how you're different, you've showed them that you relate to them, I know what you've tried in the past, and you explain their pain and show them how you're going to help them avoid the pain and get them to the desire they want, they will buy your thing. They will, they will buy your thing and you will brainwash them to buy your thing. That's the whole purpose of this video. And I hope that you understand now how to brainwash your prospects to buy your thing. This is simply what I'm doing right now. These are what my clients are doing that are running an agency. And if you want my help in order to implement this YouTube system, to increase your show rate, increase your close rate, shift these limiting beliefs, and let your prospects view your offer through a lens of trust, you can go down below. But besides that, I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you got value out of this one.